Hello, and welcome back to the next episode in our Pillars of Eternity campaign, playing as Kasemir the Cipher. We're currently in the Woodend Plains, having just arrived, so we need to explore this zone. And then once we've done that, we have a decision. We can either go west towards Defiance Bay, or we can go east towards Deerford Village. I've still yet to decide which way we should go first. I'm leaning towards going towards Defiance Bay, but on the other hand, it might be worthwhile just to check out some of these areas, but we'll have to have a think about it and see. At the very least, the main quest is pointing us towards Defiance Bay, so perhaps that's the way we'll go. But anyway, we have to explore this zone now, so let's head down the main road, see where that leads, and then if we need to go off-road, we'll do that and see what else is in the area. So far, so quiet, but who knows? You never know what could be just beyond your field of view. Here we go. Itumak and Sagani.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
Ah. So, well, they're friendly at least, and it's Itumak. Alright, hello, Sagani. A dwarven woman, dressed in skins and hides, leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figurine between her feet. A large, white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
You seem lost. She lifts her head and looks at you. I know exactly where I am. It's my friend who's lost. Okay, well, who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Well, standing around here is probably not the most productive thing you could do. Perhaps not. But running around all over the Deerwood hasn't done much good so far. The fox next to her yawns. So your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
She rolls her eyes and shakes her head. Try something? What exactly are you talking about?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
Her shoulders rise and fall as she takes a deep breath. So how long have you been looking for Persok? Her painted brows lower, and her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. Wow, that's a long time. Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
She gives you a slow, thoughtful nod. Okay, well, why do you even have to find Persok? She smiles wryly. That's more of a campfire tale. I'm not quite ready to get into it. Well, it must be an important duty if you've spent 5 years doing it.
So I keep reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
She looks at the Adra figurine in the dirt. Yeah, well, anyway, earlier you'd mentioned an unhelpful stranger.
True enough. But first I should explain about the figurine.
Alright. She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, He left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this.
Maybe it's broken. She laughs hollowly. Even Skane couldn't be that cruel. It's working, I'm sure of it. It's just not as precise as I'd hoped. Even so, she squints at it, looking doubtful. Perhaps Persok is still farther away. She shakes her head. I spent a year circling the area, thinking the same thing. Got as far south as Osier, and as far north as Fleetbreaker Castle, when I realized the figurine was going dark again. Same thing happened when I trekked through the White March and circled the bays to the west. Alright, so it's most likely in this area. Well, I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course.
She eyes us cautiously.
I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the Wolf's Lair and the twining trees.
Well, she shrugs, certainly, at her explanation of that. But what is the Wolf's Lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current Duke Wolfgrin. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. And is Twining Trees a real place as well? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some especially memorable trees. Okay, alright, go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place. Right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
Well, what if I'm Persok? Not to disappoint you, but there's no chance. This thing would glow like a torch. She wiggles the figurine. Okay, well, you could still go after that false watcher. Get your money back, at least. She swats at the air. I was mostly trying to scare him. I wouldn't really kill a man over a few gold pieces. I don't have much use for coin, anyway. Besides, knowing his type, he's cleared out of town by now and spent whatever he made. Alright, well, can I have a look at the figurine?
Why?
She looks at the Artrabert, and then back to you, her eyes narrowed. I'm a real watcher. May as well be honest. I'm not going to charge her, so...
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
She chuckles. Yeah, you've got nothing to lose by letting me try.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Artrabert, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Sniff the breeze. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Persok is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. Examine the roads nearby. Deep ruts score the hard-packed dirt. These are the marks of wagons, numerous and heavy laden. A large city is close. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. Handing back the figurine, we exclaim, "I've got it!" He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
She looks at the Adrabear herself, turning it a few times, and then looks back at you. "I told you, I'm a watcher." She blinks at you a few times, calculating. "If you'd seen the way he stares at dead things, you'd know he's serious."
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
"Well, you can come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Persok on the way."
If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Sagani looks at us, her arms folded across her chest. She tucks the figurine into her pouch, and her fox stands, shaking its pale coat. Alright. So we need to find those cliffs for Sagani. But we now have Sagani in our party. Sagani is a boreal dwarf ranger from Nasitak, with the background of being a hunter. 15 might, 12 constitution, 11 dexterity, 17 perception, 13 intelligence, and 10 resolve. So not a bad damage dealer. In fact, I mean that's what rangers do. I don't think they do anything else. Stealth and survival are her skills. Fine hide armor. Oh, that's the armor she's wearing. Hunter's instincts, plus 15 accuracy against wilder, and plus 15 accuracy against primordials. Does she have any other talents? Agile retreat. Interesting. And that's her pet Itumak and Itumak's stats. Okay. Let's see if we can give her... Actually, her equipment's pretty good. Masuk hunting bow. Does pierce and crush damage. It's accurate too. So plus 8 accuracy. Which means that we would need to upgrade it to at least exceptional to match that level of accuracy. And she's wearing fine hide armor. I don't think we've got anything better than that armor-wise. There's no point really giving her more damage reduction. In fact, we could give her even weaker armor really if we wanted to. Like fine padded armor instead of fine hide armor. She'd have slightly less damage reduction, and accordingly slightly less recovery speed penalty. We may as well give her those, plus 2 dexterity, given that I'm not wearing them, because I want the mechanics boost. And if there's anything else we can give her, we should certainly consider it. I'm not going to worry about her offhand weapons, but we can give her the will cape. That's a bit more useful than the Rotwood amulet. And I don't really think there's anything else we can give her. She's not going to have lore, she's not going to have mechanics, so traps and scrolls are not going to be useful. I think that's fine, really. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. We should level her up.
Ready, Watcher.
I might just save. I'll just save there. A quick save. And we could speak to her actually and get a bit more information, but let's level her up first, then we'll have a chat. Just trying to think what we want to give her. Probably survival, I would think. Give her bonus damage. First flanked enemies is probably one of the more useful ones. And as for her talents, now that is a tricky question. So we can give Vicious Companion, which makes her pet deal more damage. Accurate wounding shot. The ranger's aim becomes deadlier, making his or her wounding shots more accurate. Do per encounter. If successful, hobbled for 11 seconds. Resilient companion, +3 damage reduction and +1 every 3 levels after 1. Makes the companion tankier. Let's just exit that, because I don't know what...
How may I help?
Oops. Did not mean to click that. I don't know what the, like... what the skills of her pet are. And whether or not we should spec her pet into being a damage dealer, or a tank, or something else. I'm not sure what the difference is between... I should look at the right page firstly. But yeah, I'm not sure what the difference is between the different types of pets. Because she's got a fox, but presumably there's other types of ranger companions. Arctic fox companion. It doesn't really help. Wounding shot's cool though. Alright. I don't think we make her pet a tank. 30 defense against charm, dominating, confused attacks. I'm not too worried about that either. Merciless companion. Animal companions do small amounts of sneak attack damage against targets that qualify. Right. I think we would grab this one if we were going to get any of those ones, but I don't know if we should. She's ranged, so clearly getting marksman would be good. 2 weapon style is not required. It's melee weapons. It's melee only, so marksman would be the one to get. And then if she's going to use bows, they're all kind of split up. If she uses hunting bows, then peasant would be the one to get. Hatchet, hunting bow. If she uses guns, then ruffian. Or if she uses warbows, then adventurer. Defensive, I don't think we need to give her any of those. Nor any of these. Quick switch. No. Wound binding. That's 1 per rest. No. Don't need any of those. I think we'll just give her accurate wounding shot to start. +10 accuracy, so it'll hit more often. And high chance of crits too. So that's her first level done. Now, if we lean into survival and get it up to 12, then we'll get an even bigger bonus damage, or damage bonus I should say, against flanked enemies. We could also lean into stealth, but what's the point of doing that for this character? I don't see the benefit. We don't use stealth that much. You don't need to be in stealth to get sneak attacks. So yeah, we'll give her 1 point in athletics to give her second wind. And then we'll just, yeah, lean into survival, I think. Alright. Get to pick an ability here. The ranger gets into a speedy and fluid offensive rhythm, reducing accuracy, but increasing fire rate and reload time with ranged weapons, and attack rate with melee weapons. Or marked prey. Designates a single target as prey, giving the ranger and animal companion a damage bonus against that target, once per encounter. Predator sensors. So, pet will do more damage against anyone affected by damage over time. And vicious aim. Minus 20% attack speed, but more accuracy and more damage. That'll be offset by the chanter, Kana's chant. But of course then you don't get 20% plus the Karna's chant, so that's a consideration. Reload speed I don't think is a big issue. We'll go Marked Prey first. Another survival point. Now we've unlocked some more ones here in the offensive category. Savage Attack, Envenomed Strike, raw damage over time, 3 per rest. The fact that it's per rest is a bit, it's not bad though. Marksman again, Gunner, which is reload speed for firearms, crossbows, and arbalests. Dangerous Implement, not necessary for us. Beast Slayer, Primal Bane, yada yada. Sanctifier, Wilder Hunter. Interrupting Blows isn't bad. Vulnerable Attack, not needed. Penetrating Shot's good. Reduces our attack speed, but +5 damage resistance bypass. And it's a modal ability, so we can turn it on and off. Bloody Slaughter. It's a passive. That's pretty good too. And it's not... It doesn't look like it's a... You don't have to activate it. It's passive. It's always active. There's no detriment. And it applies to seemingly melee and ranged. But I think we'll go Penetrating Shot at first instance. Put another point in survival. So, Swift Aim, that will offset Penetrating Shot, will reduce our accuracy, though. Accuracy is important. Stalker's Link, and that will increase our accuracy. As will that, but we'll just attack slower. Long experience fighting together enables the ranger and animal companion to fight as a highly efficient team. The ranger gains an accuracy bonus when fighting any enemy already engaged by the animal companion. That is quite good. I think we'll go Vicious Aim though. Yeah, it'll be slower, but you know, the hunting bow is fairly fast. We'll be more accurate, and we do 20% more damage. So we'll go with that.
I'm here.
And then we'll just enable both of those modals. So she's doing 5 range DR bypass and 10 accuracy and 20% damage, but at the cost of a total of minus 40% ranged attack speed, but then that's offset by Karna's chant. So it's minus effective minus 20% ranged attack speed. But, you know, this one's fairly fast, so at least compared to,
your lead.
You know, the arquebus or the pistol. All right, save there, and let's have a chat to Sagani. Sagani draws up beside you, a fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
You've been searching for Persoc for 5 years? Sounds like you've been gone from home a long time. Yeah, it does sound like you've been gone from home a long time.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimak.
Hearing its name, the fox looks up. What an adventure, yeah.
It certainly started out that way.
She grins wearily. Yeah, after 5 years of not reaching your goal, I guess it wouldn't feel much like an adventure anymore.
It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
She adjusts the bow hung over her shoulder and scratches at a callus on her middle finger. Why do you have to find Persok anyway?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Elitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Elitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persok died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero.
She sighs.
Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
Yeah, people often forget what isn't in front of them. Very true. She frowns. I think of that frequently.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me. If they think of me often.
Returning to them is what matters. Yeah, I think... I don't know. Of course they do. Like, I'm sure they remember them. And I'm sure they think of her often. But ultimately, yeah, returning to them is what matters. She nods. Both practical and true.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persok will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
She sighs and gives you a sidelong glance. Yes, I suppose I do in fragments. At least I think that's what the visions were. Some of them anyway, but I'm not 100% sure. She leans a hair's breadth closer. Really? What's that like? It's strange. Feels like I'm going crazy most of the time. I don't know about that just yet. We're not at Merriwald's level of depreciation just yet, but certainly it's uncomfortable. I'd just as soon not remember any of it. Or it's more frustrating at this point. I really do wish I knew more. I think that's probably most accurately sums up our current position. She sits back. I don't envy you. Guess I'm lucky I only have to worry about someone else's past life.
Makes me wonder what Persok remembers about our village. Or if a turn at the wheel has yanked the details out of his mind like it does for most of us.
Has your village changed much? Changed much since his time?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
She brushes a braid behind her shoulder. Itumak brushes against her hip, and she scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years. My aunts say that we've had fewer clashes with neighboring villages, thanks to the hunting territories that Persok helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with the merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persok brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bear figurine. He got this from one of the Amawa ships that used to trade with us. It does sound like he did a lot for your people, and it also sounds like Masuk must be a tight-knit village. So, yeah.
As family.
Her voice grows quiet. She shoves the Adra bear back into her caribou skin pack. Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of the chase, or ready for this to be over? No, I enjoy the adventure. Every day brings something new. She smiles. Refreshing indeed. She rises and stretches, looking around. We've got darkness on our side. Shall we move on? I'd like to talk some more. What's on your mind? What are your thoughts on my search? She frowns. Helps to know what you're hunting. You've got a lot of tracks to follow, but where they'll lead is anyone's guess. Alright, and tell me about Itumark. She scratches behind his ear. A good hunter, but not much of a talker, and that's been fine by me. When we hunt in Nasitak, we almost always bring our foxes with us. They help us track and flush game, and they're fearless defenders against bears and snow leopards. Clever Itumark has always been my favorite. He wags his brushy tail. What do you do back in Nasitak? I'm a long hunter. I stalk game across the tundra with some of the other wives. We usually hunt caribou and oxen, but we find hares and birds too. It's a good and respected position, to see so much of Nasitak in the company of my friends and sisters. This is one of the pleasures of life in Masuk. And you mentioned earlier that you have a family back in your village? Of course! We'd never send a woman who hasn't had the chance to find a mate and have a couple children of her own. Okay, well, aren't you worried your husband will, you know... Are you kidding? I'm the best shot in Masuk. Yeah, okay. Only if you return to shoot in Masuk, though. And what about your children? I've had 5. Yakona, Astuya, Najuro, Anik, and Malak. Astuya and Anik died young. I got so used to reading the weird names. Died young in long, lean winters. Malak was barely talking when I left. She scrapes a thumbnail along the handle of her hunting knife. He probably won't know me when I get home. She frowns, her hand falling from the knife. Even in Nasitak, I spend most of my time on the hunt. But then, it's easier to relish the hunt when I know I'll see my family enjoying our kill. And what's your husband like? Kalu's a good man. He's raised our children well and built us a strong home while I've been away on hunts. Our parents chose us for one another when we were still young. Not the way things are usually done here, but ours chose well. She smiles. We came to appreciate each other as helpmates first, then friends, and then, well, you know how it goes. There's a hint of a blush below the stripe of face paint. Well, that's all I had to ask on that. She nods. I want to know more about your homeland, though. Nasitak? She rubs her nose with one broad finger. It's a big island in the middle of the Deadfire Archipelago, just off the coast of the White that Wends. Tundra, mostly, with a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages, by standards here anyway. Mine is Masuk. And what's it like in Nasitak? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the White that Wends. The few kith who visit Nasitak find it sparse, but there's plenty to sustain a village if you know where to look. She ticks the items off on her calloused fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals and small whales, bone too, which makes fine bows and arrowheads. I don't know if you can make a bow out of bone, because it needs to bend. A bow needs to bend. I think bone would be pretty brittle. But yeah, bone would make good arrowheads, presumably, but yeah, I don't know about bows. Maybe someone who knows better than me can correct me in the comments, but my gut feeling, my intuition is that bone would be too hard and brittle to make a good bow out of. Because bow wood needs to be supple and bend. Community is important to us. We survive or perish together, so everything we do, every week-long hunt, every wall we build, is for the village. Tell me more about Masuk. We're a tundra village. To an outsider's eyes, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighboring villages, sojourns across the sea. We share these stories too. Yeah, I'm sure every other village has a history and culture like that. I doubt yours is the only one. But anyway, who lives there? Mostly Enutanik, like me. People here call us boreal dwarves. Migratory clans of Glamfellan from the White that Wends sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasitak, but we don't see too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather-bronzed arm. Those of us born in Nasitak like to say we have a hardy layer of sealskin just beneath our flesh. Fair enough. And tell me more about your search for Persok. I'll tell you what I can, but Tarnek Ilitsak pilgrimages like mine are rare. Why do your people have this tradition, firstly? She pulls the bear figurine out of her satchel, running a finger along its smooth back. It's something we've always done. The elders say it was first begun to forge ties with other villagers. It's hard to fight over caribou herds when you see someone you respect on the other side. We also believe that passing our history on in this way keeps us stronger, and it helps them, the elders I mean, return to us after they've been away from us for a generation or more. They can use the experiences they've accumulated over lifetimes to lead the village again. Are elders usually reborn so far from the village? Most often, they return somewhere in Nasitak, a member of another village, or they're reborn among the Glamfelon of the White that Wends. Even so, it's hard to say what's usual. A mischievous grin crinkles her eyes. When my grandfather was a boy, the elder came back as a polar bear. The huntress chosen for the task had to recite half of her village's deeds while running from the beast. Her expression sobers. Even so, there have been journeys longer than mine. Some last decades, and the huntress doesn't always return. What happens when the elder is found? That depends on the man or woman he's become. It's easiest when the rebirth happens in another village of Nasitak, where the tradition is understood. Even in the White that Wends and the southern islands of the Deadfire Archipelago, people understand this custom and will welcome you politely enough, even if their souls do not remember. She shrugs. But sometimes you find someone whose soul has no memory of the village, and you have to tell him of people who remember him still. As disheartening as this is, you hope that the reminder will aid his soul in a future life. And how did you get picked to come search for Persok? She grins. Another old village tradition. The elders watch the caribou migrations and cast seal bones to determine the right time for this journey. When the omens were determined, all the village wives drew shark teeth. We're the ones that go away to hunt and fish, so we're the best suited for a task like this. Anyway, I grabbed the little tooth. She frowns. Traveling so far is a rare privilege for us, but as you can see, the journey can be unpredictable. Alright, let's move on. I presume you don't have anything else to say? What's on your mind? Yep, I know. Okay. Alright. Good bit of dialogue there. But we still have
Slow and silent.
an area to clear. There's a sign here. North to Cardnua and west to Defiance Bay. Alright, well let's start by going west. We'll just clear the roads. See what comes up. And we need to sort out formation now. Because we've added Sagani. I think we go like that. Put her and Aloth on the flanks, me in the center. So maybe, yeah, me like that. Actually, she's got more health, so we can put her in the center, Durance and Udamak on the flanks, and then me and Aloth at the back. That works. It'll do anyway. Alright, so that takes us towards Edelwan Bridge, which is the gateway to Defiance Bay. Hopefully that bridge hasn't collapsed. I'm sure it hasn't. Looks like there's a abandoned or ruined house here. A sparrow's nest is tucked between two angled slats. Okay, so nothing, no enemies so far. So we can go south towards the Searing Falls as well. So that's an option. But we'll finish clearing, or I should say exploring, but I presume there are some enemies to clear. Oh, I can hear footsteps. A Puigra. I don't know how that's pronounced. Primordial. Do we have a bestiary entry on that? Oh, we might, but I don't know what they're called. Maybe we only add it after we fight one. Yeah. Probably have to fight one. I should read through some of these entries at some point, but do that another time. Alright, we'll just fight it then. See if we can knock it down. The more... we may as well mark it. And then... immune? Yeah, immune to hobbled. That's a shame. And it's hitting me somehow. Finish it, Alof.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they drop awakened wood. Okay. So what are they? It should be somewhere in here. This one was new. Delimgan. Right. So they're weak to... well, actually, they might not be weak to burn and freeze, but anyway. So they're like a type of tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
Let's see what's down here. So, we've explored that whole corner, so just up this way now. Again, that will just take us south. Something up here, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Oh yeah. Cool. Some potions and wine dregs swirl around the bottom of the clay jar, so a completely abandoned cart for some unknown reason.
Shh.
Forest lurker. Okay. Hang on. Let's get Sagani to hobble. We'll wait for the lurker to come a bit closer. Okay, that's close enough. And Mark, you can get behind him. And then Sagani, you can mark it. You can try that, Aloth. Now that one. So it's flanked, it's hobbled. We knock it down.
Get
again.
on!
Nice.
Let's see what lies this way.
Some Barath spell. And then that goes out to Stormwall Gorge, so we'd have to go there before we can go to the Deerford village. Let's see what else there is. Alright, so that's the road. Oh, we should grab that.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea. No, very.
I like Kana. I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet. Another forest lurker. Alright, this one will also let him come closer. Oh, okay, he can. There we go.
Fine.
Okay, and we'll get Itamark to go around. Should have done that at first. Get him, Itamark. And mark him as well. And let's, you know what? Let's just paralyze it. That work? Did I miss? Misses. Alright, we still got him, so it's fine. There's another one further north.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
We're doing quite a bit of damage now that we have a full party. Like having Sagani there adds a nice bit of damage. Alright, let's
go.
Can you go on the side? Can you go behind? You can do that. You can do that. And then that. Try again. Bind it. Oh, they're immune, are they? Hits but is immune? Yeah. Interesting. At least I think that was immunity. To the paralyzation anyway. Alright, there's a platform up there, but we'll go around this way first. Just explore the edges. And then we'll come back and go up. What's this? It's a gravestone. Those gravestones don't have anything other than just stuff written by Kickstarter backers. Nothing that alters gameplay or anything. We spotted a forest lurker, but I don't know where. Oh, there. Okay. Let's hobble it. We'll get Itamark to... Durance? Why are you getting hit, bruh? Let's get Durance. Oh, he's stuck. Of course he's stuck.
You can trust me. There's a lesson to be taught.
Okay, that's that done. Alright, let's explore up there now, and then that last corner there, and then I guess we'll go to Adelwyn Bridge.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. So nothing really up here. Other than that dead adventurer. Oh, there is this section out here. Nope, nothing there either. Maybe my mechanic skill isn't high enough. Or maybe there's just no hidden loot here, but I would have thought
Let's see
there'd be
what lies this way.
some hidden hoot. I would have thought there'd be some hidden loot somewhere. But maybe not, I don't know. Could be in this last area that we're gonna explore.
I shall be discreet.
There you go, that's something there. A lion? What the hell? See that every day. Alright, let's just attack it. But let's let it come to us. Melee.
Hey.
And Sagani, actually, you should hobble it. I should do that earlier. Lion tried to eat the fox. Lionhide. Lions were once a common sight on the plains east and south of Erglanfath's great forests, but colonization in the Eastern Reach has pushed the great cats back to the relative safety of the territory between Glanfathan and Deerwooden communities. In addition to their great power, lions are known for their roar, a terrifying sound that can strike fear even into the hearts of the bravest kith.
Sure.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Alright, here we go. There's a camp here with camping supplies, which we cannot take, and someone called Jalen Demathe, which I think that's a backer NPC. Yeah, that's a backer NPC. We'll just leave it. They don't contribute to quests or anything, it's just flavor dialogue, basically. Let's go up here.
Ogren's fire casts light in dark places.
See if there's anything up here, and then there's a bit over there we should explore as well. Haven't been too many enemies in... Oh, never mind. Lions. 2 of them at least. 3. 4. Okay.
Let's go.
Get Itumak to go here, Endurance to go here.
Go.
Oh, that's a lot of lions. Alright. Let's get Endurance to do that. You do that. Itumak, you can run forward. And maybe I can run back and not be a fool. We'll get the Elder Lion marked. And let's just use Bounding Minalettas. I think that'll be the most effective. And I'll use that one. And then Endurance, you can use that. Wasn't as effective as I'd hoped, but... just use that, I suppose. Sagani, is gonna die. Unless I can do something. I can summon a phantom. I can use that. But beyond that, I am stuck. Ah, still not. Aloth, what else can you do, my friend? I feel like bounding Minolettas is still the way to go. Fireball will just do too much splash damage.
How may I help?
And yeah, let's just use Mind Blades as well. Mind Blades did not do as well as I was hoping. Just wondering what the best approach would be. Alright, the old line's dead, so I'm not too concerned anymore. They can all attack that one. Yeah, that's fine. Sagani doesn't have a huge amount of health anyway, so that Elder Lion unfortunately wasn't being tanked by Adair. But yeah, Elder Lion Fang. Cool. And we get a bunch more hides.
Yeah.
So Sagani is... She has a swollen eye.
Mm-hmm.
But she's otherwise okay.
Let's see what lies this way.
So I call that a victory. And we cleared out the lions as well, so double victory. Okay. So what is this? Waves are roughly chiseled in the stone. They grasp at Ondra's beloved moon like curling fingers. Dead Pilgrim. Hearth Harvest, a unique hatchet. Well, we'll give that to Sagani probably because she's using a hatchet. But this one, 9 to 13 slash damage, plus 5 deflection, plus 25% burn damage, plus 3 DR bypass. It's not bad actually. The plus 5 deflection's nice. Rending as well. Interesting. It's not even upgraded to be fine yet. It's not even. It might even be a decent weapon for Adair, to be honest, because of the deflection. Is that something that all hatchets get? No, it is. Okay. It's not bad at all. We'll give it to Sagani for the moment. She can have it for now. But yeah, not a bad weapon. Then. Probably an improvement over Adair's weapon, to be honest. I haven't been overly impressed with his flail, although I think it is helping to keep him alive longer.
And what does the flame reveal?
Alright. What's up here, if anything? Forest Troll. 2 Forest Trolls. 3 Forest Trolls. 4 Forest Trolls? Alright. You attack that. Ah, crap. Aloth doesn't have any, We'll get Aloth to use, what do you call it? Oh, wow, that's a big group of enemies, actually. Let's hobble another one.
I'm here.
I want to get in there and use that one. But I had to eat the disengagement pretty much, I think. Kana, as soon as you can, Please summon something. And take a big old blessing. Don't die. Ah, what is that storm thing? It was the oh, it's the wind blight. I didn't even see there was a wind blight. That's a bit annoying. Was that summoned? Might have been summoned. Just wondering if I should do that or if I should use Pillar of Fate.
You gotta take better care of Ally.
May as well use this because I'm gonna have to rest anyway. Can you at least get a summon out? Kill the wind blight. Damn.
Ready, Watcher. Just a few scratches.
So much.
Wow, we're getting demolished. The wind blights. Might have to reload. Thing is, I don't know. Ah, where was our last quick save? Oh my goodness. I hope it wasn't before all the lions. I think it was. Ooh. Oh no, okay, it wasn't.
Sure.
Good. That's alright then. I wish I kept a couple fireballs from Aloth. But alas, I had not. Maybe we can arrange it a bit better. You know what I could do? I could, chuck some heavier armor on Kana quickly. Give him his shield and mace. And put him there and Adair up front like that. I want to hit the Pigras or whatever that is. We'll go there as well. Those are the ones I'm concerned about. Man, why am I getting hit so much? Let's paralyze that one at least. Use that. Knock you down. Ah, the rain blight. Okay. Let's hit that then. Just had to try it. And I think we used that as well. try our luck with that. Oh,
Not like this.
damn. Okay, let's try again, different angle. See if we can kill those Pigras first, or whatever they are. I think they're summoning those blights, and they are annoying.
Sure.
So let's come from that side, maybe. Okay. Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, there they are. Alright. Leave Kana with his thing out for now.
Following your lead.
See if we can knock it down. And then if we can hobble that one. And then... maybe we'll use that at first instance. Get caught. Here we go, use that. What am I getting hit by? Infestation of maggots. 10 damage by percentage of endurance lost. Is there a way we can thwart that? Granting immunity to frightened and terrified? No. Increases might and resolve. Can do that one on them. Probably worthwhile doing.
What? Breathe.
Great, let's finish that one now. Kana, please summon something.
I'm here.
Endurance, please hit that. Use that up. Do it! Oh, wait, they're here? Yep, okay. Actually, I'm just wondering. I don't think... Can I charm them? Oh, I can probably charm that one, maybe. Yeah, that worked. Can mark that one and then...
Come on, not like this.
disengage from it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I got knocked out. That's annoying. Should get Sagani out of range. Finish that one off. Kana is almost certainly gonna die. Let's get Ituma to get that one. Because Adair can tank these two. Alright. Sort of working out alright. Is this one flanked? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Itumak. Actually, everyone can just go for that one. Should be fine now. Alright. Well, I'm maimed, but we've cleared the area. That was a fairly difficult battle. The Pigura things are not easy.
I shall be discreet.
Oh, and some of them were forest trolls, not just lurkers. I think trolls are more tough to kill than the lurkers, maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, that's the Woodend Plains cleared. So let's head over towards the Defiance Bay exit. Save here. And, we'll just rest, I think. Do we want to give damage versus flanked? Probably. The rest of them just stick with damage reduction. Alright. Barracks is finished. So we can start another upgrade. I think we want one that will increase security. Oh no, we've got good security. Maybe one that increases prestige then. Gives us the biggest prestige bonus. The chapel. But it's expensive. Maybe the Warden's Lodge. High level bounties. That gives security and prestige. So yeah, let's do that. Get the Warden's Lodge. That's 1,000. Alright, onwards to Edelvan Bridge. Which is a 4-hour journey. But it felt like it happened instantly.
Margaren's fire cast light.
Here we go, Advent's Weird. It's a commoner here. If you need an inn for the night, Goose and Fox has the softest beds and the best ale. Got to laugh now and then, right? Indeed. Alright, let's Speak to Craddock Bridgeman and Astranda Miriamelis. Oh, those are backer NPCs again. I forgot the gold-plated background. Another commoner here. More backer NPCs on the left there. I wish more people knew how to keep a cool head these days. Have you been to the Expedition Hall yet? You might find your type of work there. The Crucible Knights have been warning everyone to stay out of the catacombs. They're not safe anymore. If you're a scholar, you'll want to visit the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Such grim times. I'm glad that not everyone takes things so seriously. Welcome to Defiance Bay, but watch yourself in our city, understand? What is it? I'm looking for the Temple of Woodaka. Huh? If you say so, it's in First Fires, just west of Crucible Keep. I didn't think there'd actually be a Temple of Woodaka, but alright. Justicia Forgent.
Greetings.
What can I do for you? What can you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, but I don't have time right now. But it sounds like that Dozens crackpot Rowan is stirring up trouble again. He jerks his head at the gate. He'd be all too happy to give you a rundown of the city, liberally flavoured with Dozens propaganda, of course. You seem to be on edge. What's the problem exactly? Thousands of them, truth be told. We've got refugees coming in from all parts, under some misguided notion that things are actually better here, that the legacy somehow passed us over. So they showed up with no prospects and little money, and just end up making a worse mess of things. He looks you up and down. No offense. Alright, goodbye. He grunts, and good luck to you. Okay. What's down here? Ah.
Nice and slow.
Free supplies. 4-finger discount, dude. Alright. So, Edelwine Bridge really doesn't have a lot going on. Oh, actually, there could be a hidden... Did I stealth across the bridge? I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Let's just... Because there could be... You never know, there could be a hidden... thing under a cobblestone or... You know, in one of the columns. You never know. It's looking unlikely, though. Not even Craddock Bridgeman was foolish enough to hide loot on this bridge. Alright. That's fine.
Yeah.
So be it. In we go to Copper Lane. 15 minutes.
Defiance Bay. The city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by White One's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Ominous. But here we are in Copper Lane
Nice and slow.
in Defiance Bay.
Nice and slow.
Probably still is worth traveling around in stealth just to spot any hidden stuff.
Those walls surround the whole city?
Yeah. How else? The Copper Lane Marketplace has everything you could ever want to buy. What's going on here? And yet the Duke and his toadies in the Crucible Knights do nothing. Can we allow these atrocities to continue unchecked? No! Down with animancy. Widewind's legacy was one warning. Heritage Hill was another. What's Heritage Hill? Spread the word. Together we'll drive the blight of animancy from our city. The expeditions set out of Admith's... Oh, sorry. The expeditions out of Admith's Den are just organized grave robbery. It takes a smooth tongue to solve problems, doesn't it? Only the best soldiers get to patrol the palace. Is that an admission that he's not one of the best soldiers? The calm waters smell faintly of refuse. There's a cat here. Can we speak to the cat? No. I was hoping to speak to the kitty.
Margren's fire casts light in dark places.
So... Oops. Wrong button. So there's nothing down there. Nothing over here. Just a bunch of commoners. And a cat. And this guy. And some protesters. I saw an animancer's experiment make a little girl kill herself. The Duke says he's addressing the animancy problem, but nothing ever changes. Man isn't meant to tinker with souls. I'll bet animancy is to blame for every problem in the city. Alright, let's speak to Rowan.
Greetings.
Rowan's arms are crossed, and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, eh? You've picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies no better here. It's the Animancers. Magran scorch 'em, and they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though. Us dozens are gonna put a stop to it. What are you doing out here? He gestures at the crowd, which buzzes with angry chatter, trying to get folk to see reason. We're in the midst of a crisis, and instead of purging the nefarious forces from our city, the Duke is granting animancers dangerous liberties. What do you know about animancy? It's the study and manipulation of essence, which any sane person will tell you is the purview of the gods. The Adirans at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you can say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul readings those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Engwithan times, which is why you'll see animancers tinkering with old Engwithan artifacts. Kana raises her fist to cough discreetly into it. Half-truths, all, but he's an enthusiastic performer, I'll give him that. He shakes his head. Trouble is, the animancers got no idea what half those artifacts actually do. Not that they'll admit it. Our emphatic friend is correct about one thing, at least. Tell me more about the dozens. Well, I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay, firstly. This is the capital of the Free Palatinate of the Deerwood. We started out as the capital of an Adiran colony, but we booted the flaccid scepter from these lands 150 years ago. These days, we're a major port receiving trade and visitors from all over the world, but we, some of us anyway, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us our freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 5 districts: Copper Lane, First Fires, Ondra's Gift, Brackenberry, and Heritage Hill. He ticks each off on a calloused finger. Tell me about Copper Lane. This here is Copper Lane. He taps a scuffed boot on the cobblestones. It's primarily a market district, but you've also got the Expedition Hall directly north of here, where you can join treks into the wilds. That's also where my fellow dozens, martyrs, and I tend to meet up with other concerned citizens. He points to a long, domed building west and north of your position. And that's the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Eerie place, you ask me, but they've got the biggest library in the Deerwood. Kana laughs. Eerie indeed. It might be less so if more kith stepped inside. Perhaps we ought to visit, Kasemir, and see just what mysteries are revealed. Tell me about Brackenberry. A noise of disgust rattles in his throat. The nobility that didn't sail back to Adir stayed there. Most of the families there trace their lineage back to old imperial times. Other than a lot of has-been nobility, you've got Hadrit House, where Lady Webb and her spies operate, and Brackenberry Sanitarium, the main cesspit of animancy in this city. He spits on the cobblestones. Alright, and tell me about First Fires. That's where the revolution started, hence the name. These days, it's overrun with politicians and panderers, but we'll take it back someday. That's where you'll find the Ducal Palace, the Valiant Embassy, and Crucible Keep. He shakes his head. The Crucible Knights were the original freedom fighters in Defiance Bay, but now they're just strutting peacocks with their eyes on fancy titles and their heads up their asses. There's an old temple of Whitaker there too. We keep it real nice for her. He winks. Alright, tell me about Andra's gift. Got the name because it was a wetland that was drained back in the Imperial days. Now, it's a seedy district populated by sailors, common folk, and more than a few thugs. But it's a fun place too, if you know where to look. He winks and elbows you. Look for a place called the Salty Mast when you're there. Other than that, it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. And what about Heritage Hill? He shivers. It used to be one of the more prestigious districts in the city. Heroes of the Revolution claimed plots up there, next to an ancient Engwithan tower and the city cemetery. Had the best views in Defiance Bay. Attracts richer types these days. A lot of animancy patrons. He spits. He glances at the crowd and lowers his voice. You wouldn't have heard, but something happened over there a couple months ago. The authorities sealed it off, and they're keeping their mouths shut. But mark my words, animancy's to blame. Alright, let's talk about something else. Tell me about the Dozens. He taps his chest. We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of animancers and the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. Just like a militia, the Dozens, except for the training, and the discipline, and the code of honor. His eyes gleam. And we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better for the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more? Stop by Admeth's Den sometime. The Expedition Hall. A lot of free thinkers in there. Can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and the animancers want you to believe. Might even be paid some work. Might even be some paid work there for motivated types. Alright, thanks Rowan. Farewell. I don't know if I agree that animancy is to blame for all your problems though. But to each their own, I suppose. Alright, well, there is a heck of a lot to explore here in Copper Lane. As you can see, quite a few different areas to head towards. But I think we will leave that for the next episode. I'm just going to drop a save here. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you're enjoying the content, please do drop a like and subscribe, and any comments are always welcome. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.